Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen. Got a special guest today. This guy's actually been on the road with me for the last year and a half. Real name is Tony. Am I allowed to say your last name? You got warrants?
No, I got no warrants. I'm good.
All right. Tony Roberson, but he goes by T Robe on stage. If you've seen me perform in the last year and a half, he's been going up right before me. Pittsburgh guy. That's probably why I've known this guy for 10 years, but I didn't bring him on the road with me until the last year and a half, because every time I would see him, it would bring up bad memories. Because that is a huge rivalry. So, Tony, when did we meet?
We probably met, it's probably been about 16 years ago. We actually met in 99 or 2000.
Where?
At the Improv. I wasn't doing comedy yet.
Oh, that's when the dude or girl spilled a drink on your Timberlands.
On my Timbs, right. We met.
Because it had to be lit, because first time I did the Pittsburgh Improv was 2001. So okay, that had to be.
So it had to be, I was with my first wife, so it had to be 02, 03. I was with Amanda.
Now you're on your what, third wife? Fourth wife?
It's my second wife.
Oh, sorry. I thought real players got to play. I didn't know. Oh, no, you was living with the girl, but you weren't married.
Yeah, we weren't married yet.
Okay, yeah. So I'll tell people how we didn't meet but met. So I'm on stage, and first time ever at Pittsburgh Improv, and Tony's sitting there, fresh new Timbs, like he just bought them from the mall, like no crease, nothing. Did a waiter or
it was another a fan? He was sitting in the front row. I was sitting in the row right behind him, so we were like right there in our first tier.
Yeah,
and he dropped the beer.
Dropped the beer on your Timbs, and when I tell you. I stopped telling jokes. I was like, oh, because Tony's face was, what the fuck, motherfucker? And I was like, yo. And he looked like he was about to beat the shit out of this dude.
I was pissed.
And I was like, and literally I started to chuckle, you all right? You good?
I think you sent me a drink. You were like, I'm going to buy you a drink.
Yeah,
calm down.
It's the least I can do. Because I was like, oh, this is the last thing I need is a brother who just got some new Timbs.
Oh, I was so mad, man.
But between Timberlands and white tennis shoes.
Yeah, you don't step on them. You don't spill nothing on them.
They look the best brand new, but they only last a couple wears and they start scraping up.
About a week, it's over. It's about
the third time you wear them.
Yeah.
It's funny. You start. Those are the shoes as a performer you put in the box and you put them back in the box off stage.
Off stage,
so you don't scuff them.
Yep,
ever.
And you don't want to get a crease either. So the crease
You were just a fan of stand-up before you became a stand-up.
Yeah, I had actually started in Philadelphia. There was a place called the Laugh House, and they had an open mic night. That's where I first started. That was in 01. And I went down, and I did it, and I kind of got booed off stage, and I kind of was like, I want to do this, though. So I started being a fan, and I just started like going to shows to see, what I had to do. And you were just one of the people I come to see. I was a fan of yours, and I came to see you, and I was like studying you, but the guy like threw me off when he dropped the beer on my shoes. So it was one of those things that I was a fan before we became friends. And because I just wanted to be a student of the game. And that's what I did when I first started doing it. And then that was in 01. And then I didn't really get into it because Pittsburgh Improv didn't even open till 01. And then I didn't start getting into it until about 02, 03. Then I started running their open mics. And, it took off from there. I became good friends with a bunch of football players. Casey Hampton was one of them. All the Steelers, and then, me and you, we had a crazy journey, man. We roasted the Steelers. And
what was that, 2006 that we met? Like met as like stand-up.
Yeah, somebody was, I know the comic's name. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was working with you, and I guess he was horrible. And you were in a club afterwards. You were like just, hanging out in Pittsburgh, and it was a club called Chemistry. And my boy T Brown came over to you and said, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "How's the show's going?" You're like, "Yeah, man, I hate my opener." And T Brown.
Well, I remember the reason I remember that opener, like he did one of Eddie Murphy's jokes, like the ice cream man joke.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to see his name.
That's a classic bit.
Yeah.
That I was like, I'm in the back of the room. And I see the guy start to do the ice cream and want to lick. He literally did want to lick and took it back from a lady in the front row.
Yeah.
I was mad at him, and I was more upset with the crowd for laughing at it. Because I was like, yo.
Should have been upset with the club for even booking him, because he was like, he's notorious. I don't want to see his name, but the guy's notorious for stealing jokes. He'll tell you, I'm taking a joke. I don't give a shit. I'm taking a joke.
Wow.
Yeah, and he'll tell you he's doing it, but that's why he's Only been local and been doing comedy for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Can't believe
He
Dave
can't even
Chappelle-
get booked now. He can't even get booked at all now.
Yeah, I can't believe Dave Chappelle is still doing that. That's crazy.
Right, after 30 years, right?
I'm not gonna say the opener's name. Chappelle, man, that guy fucking always stealing shit.
Oh, man,
you know?
he's a beast, though, that guy.
So 2006 is when we.
Well, this is what you said. You come up, you said, let me meet him. So I walk over to you, and you're like, hey, you funny?
I said that?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, yeah, man, I'm all right. You're like, come,
Well, how cocky am I?
You said, come down and do a guest set.
In
So
Cincinnati.
No. This is guest set to Pittsburgh Improv.
Pittsburgh, okay.
So I come down to Pittsburgh Improv. I did a guest set with you. You said, hey, you do nothing tomorrow? I said, no. You said, come back tomorrow, do another guest set. So I came back. At the end of that day, it was a Sunday. You said, hey, man, I got a room in Cincinnati on I think it was a Tuesday night.
Tuesday nights, yeah.
He said, I got a room, man. If you want to come down, they don't pay nothing. But come down.
Yeah.
And I knew what that was. I knew what it was. I said, I can come down and perform with you? You were like, yeah. Fine. It was like 2 weeks later. I came down. You and Ocho Cinco, I think, were running the room. And I come down, and everybody I still have it on tape. Everybody on the show before me was bombing.
No. That room was hard.
Yeah.
People got booed on my Tuesday
Bad.
night room. And I don't know how it turned into that. It was not the goal.
Yeah, it was probably like Apollo night or whatever. It was just crazy.
I don't know
The comics before me, and I'm still friends with them, they got booed off. And then I came on. And instead of going into my set, I just started ripping on these two dudes in the front. And I ripped on them enough to the point where the one dude got up and walked out. The crowd erupted. It allowed me to get into my set. I got off, and afterwards, you said, man, yeah, you did a good job, and you gave me money.
Oh, I gave you some money?
Out of your own
I was
pocket.
notorious for that.
Out of your own pocket. Gave me money out of
I
your own
wasn't
pocket.
making no money.
Yeah, I know. You told me what you were making back then, but you gave me money out of your own pocket. I didn't expect it.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
talk about what I'm making now, but those Tuesday night, here's what happened. I moved back to Cincinnati in 2004, 3-4. And I realized there was nothing to do. And I think I told you this about Pittsburgh. I started getting in you like, yo, you live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
During the week, I go, you find a night when something about Pittsburgh and more so than Cincinnati is if people know where the football players are going to be, they're going to show up.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Pirates or the Penguins, but if they know the Steelers are going to be there, people show up.
Yep.
I said, if you become the Pittsburgh guy and you just start doing stuff with the Steelers and attach them, I go, people come out.
And I'll tell you what, that worked like a charm because I had a room called Deja Vu, and I was notorious. And I had it on Tuesday nights, and the Steelers were off on Tuesdays.
Right.
So that's how me and Casey Hampton got to be cool. He started coming to the shows, and then this is like the Casey Hampton, the Heinz Ward era. B. Mac was playing, and Willie Gay, and all those guys were playing. Ricardo Coakley, my boy.
Yeah, a bunch of assholes. Just a bunch of dicks.
Look, you were friends with everybody.
All assholes. Because they beat the Bengals. But I remember telling you, I go, yo, when I moved to Cincy, I realized there was nothing to do on Tuesday night. And I go, the Bengals off day is Tuesday. I said, if I can start getting let the football. Let's be blunt. First, you got to get the girls out, hoes out.
Yep.
I don't want to call women hoes, but back then they called women
That's
hoes.
what it was.
Like, yo, you get the hose out.
Yeah.
And then the ball players come out, and then everybody comes out.
And everybody comes out.
So I made sure I got with the local promoter in Cincy who ran all the little nightclubs and knew where all the young girls were going to come out, right?
Right.
I'm talking about 21 to 26.
Right.
And give them free tickets. They came out, and then the Bengals started coming out. I started getting to know the Bengals, and pretty soon, it looked like a Bengals game. People were showing up in Bengals jerseys because they knew.
Because they knew players were going to be there, yeah.
And then I remember the summer of 2006, and I'll never forget, it was on my birthday, July 26, 2006. I called Ocho Cinco, Chad, because he was showing up every Tuesday. I said, yo, man, you want to do it with me? I'll put Chad Johnson's Too Funny Tuesday hosted by Gary Owen. And then you put your name on it, Chad goes, let's do it. Chad never asked for a freaking dime.
Oh, that's
no
so
money
nice,
out
man.
of it.
That's sweet.
And I remember I got paid $300 every Tuesday from the club, and then I got bonuses if we packed it out, so I could make up to $500 in a night.
Right.
Once Chad got on board, it was $500 every night with the bonuses. But for the most part, most time after football season, I was making $300 a night.
So you're making $3 and you gave me $100.
I gave you $100 because here's my thing.
Yeah.
I asked you to come down.
Yep.
I was fine financially.
Yeah.
I was fine. That $100 was not going to make or break me. And I was thinking, okay, the guy came down on the strength, and I'm thinking as me, when I started, I was driving from San Diego to LA 3-4 times a week just to get my name out there. So I said, you basically doubled that drive, 4 hours to come down. I said, let me give them enough for gas and get something to eat on the way home. I mean, it wasn't none out of my pocket.
No.
I won't give you all 300, but I'll give you 100.
You get a third. You get a third of this
But I was
money.
shocked you showed up.
Really?
I was real. Yeah. Motherfucker, 4 hours, no
Man,
money,
Listen,
no hotel.
I was such a fan. that I literally no money at all. I would have been like, fine.
I forget
performed
that.
and drove away because I was a fan.
I forget.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds cocky, but I forget sometimes that
Who you are.
quote unquote a celeb. I
Yeah.
just be like, why would you come down?
Yeah.
But then I think about it. If Kevin or Dave or Kat or somebody calls and like, hey Gary, come down, do this real quick for me.
Right.
I do it.
You do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just kind of do it depending on who calls.
And it goes a long way because, I mean, full circle, I'm on the road with you now.
Right. Took a couple years.
It took some time because I really wasn't ready, I don't think. I wasn't ready for a long time. And I did a couple shows with you along the way. And I remember Marco Island. We did.
Dude, you were not, you definitely weren't ready. Okay, let me tell you the Marco Island story with this dude. So I go to Marco Island, and anybody knows Marco Island, and it's better now. I will say it's way better now.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a club called Captain Brian's.
Yeah.
But back in, this one must have been 2007 or 8?
It was 7 or 8. It was real soon after I come to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You hit me up. You like, hey, I got a gig for you. I was like, where? You were like,
Oh, and then you said, yeah, I'm bringing my manager. I go, for what? What do you need a manager for? I don't have nobody. I'm the headliner.
he was just my boy.
I know. You should have said my boy's coming. He's like, my manager's coming with me. I was like this. What? So my manager doesn't go anywhere with me.
Right.
So, anyways, here's what I remember about that week. Like I said, everything was good about the gig except the gig. We jet skied, saw dolphins.
Oh, we had a
ate
good time.
Good. We had a good time. Went to a couple bars. We had a good time.
You took a girl from me?
So no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Please. Anyways, so what I remember is every night your sets got shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Your shit. When I tell you,
Yeah.
I said, yo, do 30. I'm gonna do an hour. First show. You ain't getting no laughs like you're used to. And neither am I, by the way.
I was so
which
mad.
makes it harder for me because I got to do an hour. You only got to do 30.
Yeah.
Yo, when I tell you we had 2 shows Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, you were knocking off 5 minutes every show. Sunday, I will never forget, you did 7 minutes.
You were chewing food.
I had my lobster bisque.
Yeah, he comes on stage. He's like, you did 7 minutes. I was like, no, I didn't. You're like, yeah, you did.
I go, the biscuit's still in my throat, bro.
Food was coming off.
Let me show you. This is what happened. I was like this. I was like, so we get there. We got there 30 minutes for the show. Whatever I order. Let's say I ordered salmon, rice, salad. Let me get lobster bisque as an appetizer. So, ladies and gentlemen, T Robe. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there going, just get lobster bisque. I'm still blowing up. You go, all right, y'all, that's my time. Are you ready for your headliner? I was like, I dropped the spoon. I went, really? Really? And I kept saying, like, I was noticing myself, like, he's getting shorter every night because
The crowd was just so stiff, and it's completely different. I headlined.
They're old and white. They were old and
But
white.
they're still old and white there now. I don't know what he did.
It's a little better now, though.
Yeah.
It was really old. And keep in mind, my name wasn't as big, so you didn't have the black people coming down from Fort Myer or the Latino population coming out. It was super white
we just did it. We just did it like a year ago.
Yeah. It's fine now.
Yeah.
But man, it was super, super white and super, super old. I was like this. Yo, so but the fact that you got to do 7, now I got to do an hour 23. Because I can't dog the club. And what killed me was you went like this. You went, I said, dude, you just did 7 minutes. He was like, no, I didn't. I was like, the clock's right here. If the show's at 7,
lobster biscuits coming out your mouth.
I'm literally looking at it like, it's 7:07. How can you tell me you did 30 minutes? So time is wrong?
Man,
So, yeah,
I wanted off that stage so bad. I just didn't have the I had the jokes, I had the time. It's just whenever I wasn't getting laughs, I think
You panicked. You panicked.
I panicked, and now I don't do that. Now I'm okay.
Now
with
you
that
take a breath,
Yeah.
take a drink, and just know that if you're not getting booed and nobody's talking, they're engaged.
They're listening. Yeah.
Sometimes I like the silence.
But it's so weird. You ever have a show like this where, you don't think you killed, and when you get off, everyone's like, oh, man, you killed him. Like,
Yeah.
really?
A
Well, why
lot.
didn't you tell me that when I was on stage? Why didn't you show me that,
But It goes back to you're never as bad as your worst set. You're never as good as your best set.
Yeah.
And the audiences, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people, they just observe. Like, I know I'm an observe. I wouldn't want 300 of me in the audience.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
literally be saying, this guy is killing in my brain and I'm enjoying his set,
Right.
but I'm not giving him the energy he deserves.
Well, I guess that's like how comics are. Like, I watched Chappelle. When I watch Chappelle, like, I don't really die laughing, but in my mind, I'm like,
How'd he come up with that?
Yeah, he's a genius. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I
I don't
get
think
what
so.
you're saying.
I think he's average.
Things
But anyways. I never got it. Still don't get it.
That's funny, man. Then we had the time where we had some great times too, man. We had the times where we roasted the football teams.
Roasted the Steelers and the
And
Ravens.
the Ravens.
Yeah. So we roasted the Steelers in 2009. And here's what I like about when I roast NFL teams or college teams is I got spoiled when I used to roast USC with Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Because there was no cameras, no videos. And we were like, gloves was off, man.
Yeah.
So I always ask that when NFL teams call and they'll be like, hey, you want to come roast a team during training camp? I was like, ain't nobody got to know, though. I don't want nobody knowing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want nobody to get offended.
Right.
Because the one time I did do a corporate event, I roasted Alabama and Clemson. They told me no cursing ahead of time. Show was great. But afterwards, some lady that worked in the front office at Clemson complained about me talking about Dabo Swinney. I literally talked about Dabo. I said, if they beat Alabama, I would hate to be in the hotel room next to Dabo Swinney. I said, because his wife's going to be getting her back blown out, and you're going to be hearing, oh, Dabo all night. Didn't curse.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything dirty. I was like this. That's a married man.
Yeah.
That's like in the Bible type stuff.
Right, exactly.
What are you
His
mad
name just
about?
happens to be Dabo. That's all.
What are you mad at? Nobody on the team was mad. Dabo wasn't mad. But I had to write an apology letter to Clemson.
That's
Because
insane.
my publicist wrote it. I didn't write it.
Right.
To say, so I didn't get so I can get my check, basically.
That's
and it had
insane.
nothing to do, and that's why I was like, I don't like that. So when we did the Steelers and we did the Ravens, I made it very clear, I want to say whatever I want. I don't want nobody getting offended or anything. It's almost like you got to say, I got a PG and an R show. What do you want? Of course you want R. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which one? We roasted the Steelers in 2009. When did we roast was it Ravens 10 or 11?
It was 11. It was 2 years later.
Yeah, because I was already on Think Like a Man. So it was 11 or 12. 11 or 12. I don't know.
Maybe it was 12. I'm not sure. I know this. Remember my buddy Joe, who was like, hey, man, you guys going to roast Steelers? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to take you guys up in a limo.
Okay, let's do a backstory to the show. So T Robe calls me. He says, yo, he set it all up because we're going to come roast the Steelers. No money, but they're going to give us a suite and let us go to any game we want to go to. You pick the game. And they to the Steelers' credit, I picked like a Sunday night game against the Chargers. I wanted a night game.
Oh,
and they came
man,
through.
This story.
And I'll never forget, you was like, my boy's going to pick us up in a limo and take us there. And
He was a host at a casino, so he had those kind of strings.
So you tell what really happened.
So-
because I'm thinking I'm going there. We better get picked up in a super stretch Hummer limo.
So he calls me up. He's like, T, he's like, I'm gonna pick you guys up tomorrow at I think we had to be up there like around lunchtime or something like that. He goes, I'm gonna pick you guys up around 10 in my limo.
Because it's about a 2 hour drive, right?
It was about a 2 hour drive. So I was like, all right, no problem, man. I said, Gary will be here. We'll be ready to go. And I think you came to my place.
Yeah, I stayed the night before.
I stayed the night at my place. So we're at my place hanging out. He don't give me a preference. He never said, I don't have the limo. He just showed up. Or did he call first?
I don't know what he did.
He just showed up in his personal minivan.
Dirty.
It was dirty. It was like,
Frick, I saw peanut butter crackers in the
married
corner.
man.
Freaking juice boxes in that bitch.
We get inside the minivan. It was like, nice limo.
But here's my thing. Listen, don't bullshit somebody just so you can go to an event.
He just wanted to be a part of it.
He just wanted to be in training camp because Steeler fans are different, man.
Yeah.
I don't know Packer fans like that. I know a lot of Steeler fans.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's the only city I'll go to where black people wear Steeler jerseys to the club.
Right.
White guys, we'll wear our hometown jersey wherever.
Listen,
I ain't never seen black people wear Steelers.
Steelers fans, they wear jerseys in like April. They don't even care. Like I'm like, it's April.
No, but black people wearing Steeler jersey, I don't see that anywhere else but Pittsburgh.
That's true.
Brothers got to get dressed to the nines unless it's Sunday during the game.
Sunday, yep.
No, it'd be Thursday.
Yeah.
TGI Fridays. Yep. Brothers got the Steeler jersey on.
Yeah, Steeler gear.
But he just wanted to be a part of that
That's
roast.
what it was. That's what it was, man.
And then the thing about that, one thing I remember about that roast, and you can tell me, I just remember I'll go hard on people, but I'm not a dick. I don't knock people when they're down.
Yeah.
And like Roethlisberger,
he left the room.
Well, he was going through his stuff with whatever the case, I ain't got to bring it up. And I just remember I was so excited because I grew up in Oxford, Ohio, where he played college ball. At the Pittsburgh Improv in 2003 when he got drafted, I literally told people on that stage, "You got the best quarterback in the draft."
Right.
Bam, and I didn't know if I believed it myself. That was a hell of a draft, but I was like, "Yo, you got the best quarterback," because he's from Miami of Ohio. Not many people come out, and I'm rooting from afar, and then we get to 2009 training camp, and he got up and left the room. Did not want to see the show or the roast. Only person to get up. And I was like, I was not going to go at you like that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. And he got up, and I still talked about him about some other stuff, but it
kind of
took
the air out the room a little bit, like when he left, because I remember the stuff you were going to say about him. And when he left, like I could watch you, like I was watching, because I went on before you, and I talked about Casey Hampton mostly because that was my buddy, and how much he likes to eat or whatever. And then next thing I know, I watched you when he got up and he walked out. I saw your face, like look. And I could see your wheels turning, like, oh man, like you can only go so hard if the person's there in the same room, you know?
Because when you're doing roast, you want the players going, oh, at the dude.
At the dude, right.
He's not there.
No.
So I remember I started talking about it, and everybody went, oh, and everybody started looking around like,
where'd he go?
Fucker left?
Yeah.
I was like, and then
he acted like he got a phone call. I remember him like doing like that and walking out.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Because I went, that was a fun one. Now, which one did you like better, the Ravens or the Steelers?
I like the Steelers just because I've done them a couple times after that. They invited me back. But I had a good time at the Ravens too. It's just I wasn't as familiar with the players just because I'm a diehard Steeler fan. Mm-hmm. So like me not being as familiar with the players, I didn't really know all their ins and outs.
But you know what was cool about that? Chuck Pagano.
Oh yeah, came in and
was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens then. So he came in and gave us dirt on a couple of the players to get us going. So I was like, that was cool with him. And then he become the Colts head coach, and he had his own dealings with cancer and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good because then we went out with the guys afterwards.
Yeah, we actually hung out at the little local bar.
Yeah.
Because their training camp's in the middle of
Flacco
nowhere.
was with us, and then what was my man's name? The D-back. He was like Japanese.
Zabikowski was the guy from Notre Dame, and then
it was
Nakamura.
Nakamura. Yeah.
He's a University of Cincinnati guy.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, man. He's a real cool dude too, man. And Flacco played football at Pitt, and you didn't know that at first, remember? Then he went to Delaware.
Yeah, I was like, he didn't play at Pitt. He played at Delaware.
No, he played at Pitt. Then he left Pitt and went to Delaware.
He wasn't starting at Pitt?
No.
Wow, good call, coach.
Yeah, right.
You be wondering about some of these things you be hearing about, like Burrow not starting at Ohio State.
Right. We had some other good times too, man. I don't want to seem like everything I've done with you has been horrible, but there was one other time I never talk about, but I'm going to address it today because
I already know.
You know
the boat cruise. All right. Yeah, you want to lay out your version? I'll tell you my version.
I don't.
There's always listen.
My version. I was pissed. I was upset. This is what it was. This is my version. I thought that I had to tell a new set every time that I got on. Now this is if my version was this. I opened up for Leela James in like one of the side rooms.
No, you got it. Nobody knows what you're talking about right now.
Okay.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
All right, we're on a Tom Joyner cruise, right? Gary pulled some strings for me. Brad pulled some strings, got me on the cruise.
Okay, I'll be honest
with comedy.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I told Brad don't book you.
You told and Brad booked me.
I said because he wanted the 10%. I said, Brad, not all money's good money. I was like, because the Tom Joyner cruise, I love it. I love it to death. But you have no control when you're going up.
Yeah.
In what room and when and where. And I said, don't put T Robe in a situation to make him look bad.
Man.
I don't like seeing comics do bad. As much as people like to think that,
when I tell you, they worked me, and they worked me like, I'm talking like I did probably 4 shows before the one that I'm about to bring up.
Listen, especially the lower end comics,
Yeah.
you don't want to say no. They'll call your room and be like, hey, we need you to host bingo.
Right.
And you'll be like, all right.
So I go up. I do my thing. The first couple of days, I was fine.
You were doing small rooms.
I was doing smaller rooms. I was fine, no problem. So I get a call from J. Anthony Brown. He goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna have you middle between Kim and Frankie Beverly and Maze."
Right. That's a freaking phenomenal show, by the way.
It's a huge show. So I go to Gary. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm kind of nervous." You're like, "Oh man, calm down. You'll be all right." You're like hyping me up. And then you
saw it.
You told me. My first joke was, and you gave it to me. You were like, "I know you guys don't know who I am, but it's all right. Kim just opened up for me."
Yeah.
And everyone laughed at that. Then I go into this bit, and I think I told a shit joke early.
I know it. I was there.
I told a shit joke early, and the crowd went south. And look, they just started chatting.
I left like Ben Roethlisberger left.
Listen,
I literally turned into Ben. I got on my phone. I go, we're in the middle of the ocean. I'm not getting service.
look, I didn't get booed. They just started getting chatty. And I was like, and I even said it on the mic. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers gonna do me like this? Everyone started chatting. I was like, all right, I'm out. That's my time. And then they clapped. So I walked off. I was like so hurt, man. I was like, I can't believe. And then you're on the boat and you're stuck on the boat with the people that just basically booed you.
But let me tell you my version.
All right.
Brad said, yeah, man. Brad was like just trying to book everybody. I think he was trying to book the show, book all the comedians. I said, Brad, this type of ship for T Robe, I said, I don't know if it's a good look, man, because he's not gonna say no. And I go, you can't set people up for failure like that when they're not ready. I said, you'd be better off just bringing them so we can see what the vibe is and then book them the next year. It's a different vibe.
What year was that?
2009
10,
or
9?
10?
9?
Yeah, it was before Think Like a Man for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know why everything goes by Think Like a Man because 2011. Because I think that's when my career started moving
Going
up
up
faster. So
Yeah.
I was cool. But I remember, so you get on. I remember I was in the room when you did the little side show, and that was intimate, and that was cool. And then when Brad said, yeah, they got T-Robe doing the Frankie Beverly and Maze. And I go, huh? Normally, for someone that's been there and done it, that's a prime spot.
Right.
You were so fucking nervous because that was a big theater.
That was one of the biggest shows
on you.
One of the biggest shows I had done ever at the time.
So you're calling me all nervous. And I said, yo, just relax. And I said,
I needed you. I was like, Gary, help.
But I told you, I said, here's two things I would tell you to do. I told you do the Kim joke.
Yeah.
I said eliminate bitch
Yeah.
and hoe from your vocabulary.
Yeah.
I said because this crowd, it's not over 30, it's over 40, closer to 50,
Closer
60
to 50,
year
60,
old
yeah.
successful black people.
Yeah.
I'm talking all college graduates.
Yep.
All they're not working for corporations, they're running corporations.
Yeah.
Don't degrade them. Like,
Yeah.
nah, we ain't no bitches, we ain't no hoes, and our
Right.
ladies aren't bitches and hoes, right?
Right.
They ain't a young crowd. I'm like, T-Robe's coming up in Pittsburgh. He's used to them young dudes, bitches, hoes, sluts, sucking dick, fucking. I'm like, this ain't that show. And so, literally, and I said, don't come up to some hip hop. Now, don't do this. This is
Right.
Cam and Frankie Beverly. This is a song he came out to. I knew it from the beginning. I put my head down. You go, rock star, lifestyle, rock star. You're like, yo, give me some energy. Oh, fuck that, give me some fucking energy. I was like, oh, set it downhill. Set it downhill. So, I just remember I was in the audience. I was up in the balcony watching, and you said something about wiping your ass or something. You said
With a decorative towel.
You go, not me though. You doing like you're strained. You do this joke about strained up, and you was like, yeah. He goes, you ever take a shit at your girl's place and there ain't no toilet paper? You are definitely strained up. You go, not me though. I take a decorative towel, wipe my ass, and hang it back up. And this one lady she went, that shit ain't funny. And the crowd just started agreeing with her, and I went, oh.
I mean, it was like what, 1,500 people in there, 2,000 people.
Dude, I got on my phone and dipped, and I said, Brad, call my room when it's over. And Brad called, I said, how did he? He goes, Brad said, man, he made it. Barely. He said, he didn't get booed because he got off right before it was coming.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I had to do 15 minutes, and I think I did 9.
I told you after I said, yo, you got to do the drink tank and address it.
I did.
Because the drink tank was dope because on this Tom Joyner cruise, if the cruise is 7 days, the 5th day to do a drink tank, and all the comics sit down. We basically roast each other, roast the audience, everything. But if you don't do good, address it. So you literally, I remember you said, and the crowd started laughing and clapped. They almost because people always like a comeback story.
Right.
So that was your little comeback, because you're like, yeah, I'm T Robe Pittsburgh. I know I almost got booed last night, but fuck it. I'm still here. I see you guys at the pool talking about me. The crowd just kind of, and then everything like decompressed after that, and you was cool.
Yeah. That was definitely a learning moment for me. It was like a pivot in my career, because I remember saying to myself, I'm like, I don't ever want to feel like this again. Mm-hmm. And knock on wood, I really have never ever felt like that ever again. I was like
it's coming. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what?
Oh, it's coming.
But I mean, and since then, I mean, I've done shows with you and Chappelle and Chris Rock. I've opened for all these guys, and I learned the difference. I learned not to be so aggressive. I learned to take my time. I learned that, like, if I tell a joke and I don't get the hit that I want, I just keep going.
Well, I always tell people too, like, let people into your world. Don't do just dick, pussy, or generic stuff. Like, let people know, this is my wife, this is my daughter, this is my son, this is what I'm going through right now. This is I'm over 40, I'm dealing with this and this. Right. Just let people into your world. Whether you get the huge laughs or not, chances are there's somebody in the audience that has been through the same stuff you've been through.
Right.
For real.
Yeah.
And then people remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers, like, hey, who likes getting their dick sucked? Everybody on earth does, by the way. Everybody. Gay guys, straight guys, everybody does. But what people remember is like, yo, like, yeah, I got there might be one guy in there, I got a mixed daughter, I got a mixed niece.
Yeah.
She does that.
She does that, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It was good times, man. I just learned, I learned a lesson. It was a heavy, hard lesson to learn. But I was so thankful to get off that cruise. I remember I got off the cruise, and Dougie Fresh was right there. I was like, what's up, Dougie? He was like, man, you all right?
But if you're an entertainer,
he knows who I am. He knows who I am.
Right, but that's the funny part. If you're an entertainer, even rappers, singers, they've had flat nights.
Yeah.
Everybody's had nights.
Yep.
Like, man, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
Those make the best stories.
Oh, yeah. And that'll be something
the last 10 minutes of this podcast would suck if you just ripped every night.
Right.
We all got those stories where the crowd was flat, and you're like, "What is going on here, man?"
Do you remember? Yeah. Did you ever have like one of those nights? You chatter, not a boo, but like just chatter, and just people just not paying attention.
I mean, early we all go through them.
Yeah.
I think the bigger you get, and people start paying money to see you, they want to see you. They don't want to deal with hecklers and chat. That's why it becomes less. But I think every time when you first start out, you're doing bars, and they don't know who's on the show, and if they're not paying money, it's free tickets.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever they want.
They
don't care.
Yeah.
They're not financially responsible. I remember one special I did in San Jose. I wasn't that big, and I was doing it myself. I said, let's just do free tickets. And somebody told me, they go, no, charge $5. They go, because if people spend any amount of money, they feel like, oh, I got to see this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And pay attention. Yeah.
Right. Free,
yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
I never thought of it like that. I go, damn, I literally, my special in San Jose, which was 2006, I charged $5 a ticket because I wasn't big enough to like sell it out or anything, and I didn't want to pay for the room.
Right.
So we sold $5 tickets and sold 2 shows out for $5.
That's crazy, man.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Then you fast forward our relationship, man, and go towards football games that we've been to. I remember I've been to Cincinnati in suites with you. You've been to Pittsburgh in suites with me. We partied. Hung out.
You're one of the few, like, I always say, like, you grow up in Cincinnati, you're groomed to hate Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh fans, everything about it.
Yeah.
I learned to appreciate Pittsburgh fans because as long as you're loyal to your team, you're loyal. And and you know a lot of NFL guys, and so do I, but it's like they even know, like, when Cincinnati does something, I'll get guys text me like, hey, what's your team doing?
Right.
I see they making moves.
Right.
Football players know because they don't have no control over where they go half the time anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can tell you got the mutual respect too, because didn't one year Steelers come to play Bengals and guys come and hung out with you?
Oh yeah, I fed all the running backs one year.
Right.
Well, it was 2016 after the playoffs where we lost that game. I guess Mike Tomlin, the coach, had said to the team, like, they were so worried about coming to Cincy because it was still fresh.
Right.
They was like, all right, we're only in a hotel, and there was an ex-Steeler that had a Jamaican restaurant in Cincinnati. They said, or we can go to this guy's restaurant. And D'Angelo Williams played for the Steelers. He goes, hey, we were going to go over Gary Owen's house to eat. And Angela was just bringing like one guy. He goes, all right, hotel, Jamaica Restaurant, or Gary Owen's house. That's the only place you're allowed to eat in Cincinnati. That's what I heard. That's what D'Angelo said.
Yeah.
But he brought about, I think I had 8 guys.
8 guys to the house.
He had a tight end. All the running backs came.
Yeah.
All of them. The fullbacks, the running back, all of them came. But it was cool. But what I remember about that is my aunt, my uncle married this lady, so I guess she's my aunt now. It's hard when somebody becomes your aunt and you're like 40.
Right.
You know, you don't look at them like an aunt.
Yeah, and you don't even call her that anymore. You just call her first name.
Well, especially my uncle who's been married 3-4 times. It's like, okay, well, how long is this one gonna last? I love his wife though; she's great now. But she's a Steeler fan, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm supposed to have a bunch of Steelers coming over, and I told my uncle Daryl, I said, look, you can bring your wife. I know she's a fan. Just act like you're just stopping by though. Make it very organic. No problem. T Robe, she walked in my house with a Steelers sweater.
What?
Some necklace, a fucking football to get signed, a beanie. I was like this. What part of subtle and organic? And then, here's where it gets bad. So then she's being cool. Everybody's eating. I catered food in. Everything's going good, man. And she goes, I just got one question. I want to know which one of you guys are going to sack our quarterback, Andy Dalton, tomorrow.
It was all running backs, right?
No, literally, Le'Veon Bell looked up. He goes, we're offense. We're right back to eating. I looked at my Uncle Daryl and I said, you guys got to go.
You gotta go.
She can't be here. It's going to get weird now. So she passed her football around. They all signed it and kept it moving. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Hilarious,
I just got one question. Who's sacking our quarterback, Andy Dalton, tomorrow? The look, though.
Right?
I just remember Le'Veon was eating. He goes, we're offense. We're right back to eating. I'm like, what the fuck was that, Daryl?
I got one more story with us, man, where I had you crying. We go to Denver. And they told me I could have free bottles.
Oh, fuck. I remember this story.
Now, I'm going to let you tell the story. It's just a funny story. Then we got to tell the story about me winning and where I'm at now. So,
Okay.
Because we bagged on me this whole time. So now we got to tell
Did I?
Well,
those are the best stories.
yeah, I guess so. But
Those are the best stories.
what do you guys hear this one? Go ahead.
All right. So I got booked at a corporate gig in Denver, Colorado. And the guy that booked me, I met because of you. His name was Chuck Sanders.
Right.
Big multimillionaire entrepreneur in Pittsburgh. And he did this thing with like all these black entrepreneurs came together and they all do business together and they pick a different city every year. So this year was Denver. And he said, yo, I'll get you 2 airline tickets. So I just went, I got to take you. You
Right.
made the introduction. Because Brad was salty. My road mate
Right.
Brad, he was like, man, I said, you can't go, dude. I got to take T Robe, dude. It's
Yeah.
only fair. It's a free trip.
Right.
Yo, you got there, and it was free liquor for one. And after I got off stage, all I saw was you had a bottle of Hennessy walking around, drinking directly out of the bottle. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, I said, what are you doing? He goes, man, it's free bottles. It's like I had it. I was like this. I've seen this movie, and it never ends well. The Titanic always sinks at the end of this movie. And every time I look, you're doing, poosh. I said, T, you know our flight's like at 7 a.m.
All right, so backstory on this. They said, what do you want to drink? I said, I drink Hennessy. Nobody else at the table was drinking Hennessy. And so the lady brought me a bottle of Hennessy. She goes, well, that's yours. I said, is anybody else drinking this? They said, no, that's yours. I said, oh, well.
Straight from the bottle.
Here we go then. It's cool.
Did you finish that bottle?
I did.
You finished a bottle of Hennessy in one night?
I finished up. Let me tell you how drunk I was. You don't even remember this part. I met some girl, and there was like free shuttles. It was they had Escalades going back and forth to the hotel. Mm-hmm. I met some girl. I said, hey, I talked to her into leaving with me. So she leaves with me. We go back to my room, and I'm so drunk. I did a wardrobe change. I was like, all right, let's leave. That's how drunk I was.
You came back to the thing.
I came back to the thing in a different outfit.
That's right, because I saw you had a different suit on.
I had a different suit on. I had a suit and then another suit.
Did you change?
I was like, yeah, I changed. And look, the girl didn't do nothing with me at all. She just came with me to change.
Oh, God.
So I come back in a different suit. I'm still drinking that bottle, right? I kill the bottle. We leave. We go back. You yell at me. You're like, I remember you saying this, dude. We gotta be at the airport. Like it was like 5 a.m. because we had to run a car.
Yeah, but the flight was at 7.
Right.
Denver Airport is not close to downtown Denver.
Right.
It's a haul. And we had to return to rent a car.
I think I drove to your house in Cincy and flew out with you.
Yeah, you sure did.
And then we had to fly back to Cincy because my car was at the airport.
Oh my God.
So go ahead, finish. What did I do?
So I drive. I pull the car up, and you come down, and you look fucking done. I was like, yo, you should go into Alcoholics Anonymous today. And you're out of it the whole drive. You're rambling for one. You just rambling about nothing on the way to the airport. I was like, he's still drunk.
It's like a 45-minute drive, right?
It's maybe 30.
30
when you're
minute
drunk,
drive?
it's 45.
It's forever.
So I just remember we got in the dang shuttle bus,
and this
the
bus
guy
driver was
a
like
transgender.
It was like swaying this bus.
But you don't remember this? The shuttle bus was a transgender. It was a guy turning into a girl.
Oh,
yeah, because he opened the door and I thought it was a girl, and I literally. The motherfucker grabbed my bag. I said, "That's a strong chick." And he turned around and goes, "Any other bags?" I was like, "Whoa!" He swung my bag up. "Any other bags?" And I was like, "What? Wait a minute." So I just remember you threw. We were there, and this one family. Was there 3 people? It was 5 of us on the shuttle.
It's so
Me,
early
you,
in
and
the
a
morning.
family of 3. And you yacked. You went. You threw up all over this Avis van, and then you went like this. You're down, and the drool is coming down, and you went. And you went down your hand and looked at me, and you went. I was like, the whole family, like the kid jumped in his dad's lap, and they're just holding each other, looking like this. It doesn't help you're black. Let's just be honest. It doesn't help you're black.
in Denver.
Oh
my God.
It's this family of 3 white people look like they just got done skiing.
Oh
now
my
they're headed
God.
back to Montana to their home, their cabin in the woods.
Bro.
It's me and you. And I just
I
remember,
puked so hard.
I left you. We got to the airport. That transgender. Any other bags? He's on his own, bro. Ma'am. I don't know where you're at right now. Bro, ma'am. I don't know where you're at right now in the transition process, but this guy's on his own. I'm out, sir, miss. So I grab my bag. I just start texting. I go, dude, sorry, man. I had to get. I don't have TSA pre-check or nothing. I gotta go, and I'll meet you at the gate. You're like, no, I'm good. I think you stopped and you got Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Or you telling me, like, I'm eating Taco Bell. I go,
I need to eat.
what goes better with Hennessy than Taco Bell?
I needed to eat, man. That was just, it was in my mind. I gotta eat, man. I'm like, I'll just, whatever. If I miss the flight, I don't even care, man. I just didn't even care. I didn't care what happened.
The transgender strong man. That was not a small man, too. He had to be taller than me.
I know.
Any more bags? Whoa.
That's
He had
funny.
long hair, everything.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
So,
All right.
but you're doing good now.
Yeah, T Robe good stories.
Yeah. You can cook.
I can cook. I'm a comedian. What the fuck is that? I can't cook, actually. So, yeah, I can't wait to come to hang out with you and cook for a show or 2.
'Cause you always, if we're in Pittsburgh in the summer, you always want to have people over. You like to barbecue. And
Yeah, you guys came over, what was like, probably like
2017.
17.
Yeah, we came over. Like
Yeah,
Memorial
I had
Weekend.
a spread. I had brisket, I had wings, mac and cheese, everything.
Yeah, you were definitely the, you like to throw the parties in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, Pittsburgh's, that's home and everything. And it's the craziest thing, like now, how things have like transitioned and turned out. Like in Pittsburgh, I was always a big fish, little pond, and now like being on tour and seeing how things really are. Like I've done a lot of road work with you, but not consistent on tour being with you like I am now. And so just seeing how things work and, and being a little guy again, like it's wild
It's
to me.
not a little guy. Like you texted me one time. You said, yo, I'm so appreciative of being on the road with you because when you're doing improvs and funny bones and like quote unquote A-list rooms, and then you're doing theater dates and casinos, it's a professionally run show.
Yeah.
You don't have to stress about, am I going to get the money? Is this going to be wrong? Is this going to, they're going to try to do their best to accommodate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you texted me, you did a show, and you're like, yo, I'm doing this one nighter somewhere, and the crowd's rowdy, everything's unorganized, and you said I just appreciate being on the road with you right now.
Yeah.
Because you go back to that.
I'll tell you, and rest in peace for him. I was opening for AJ
Johnson.
Yes,
that's right.
And
in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh at that place Foxtel, and it was ruckus. They were chatty through his set. They didn't care. It was just complete chaos. And I remember like afterwards being like, dude, I couldn't even work. And let people like hear, because especially if you're telling the story, they want to like punch.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell a story, it just kind of like irritated me. So I remember like getting off stage and being like, "Listen, man, I thank you for," and you kept me working through the pandemic. I was gonna lose my mind, and
oh my god,
I was. You want to tell that? I was on Facebook freaking out.
Facebook freaking out like 2 weeks into the pandemic.
I was like, "This sucks."
Called you. I go, "Dude, you all right?" I go, "Dude, relax. Gonna get through it. Everything's fine." I go, "Chill." I said, "You got to find a way to occupy your time during the pandemic." I started doing those daily videos, and people liked them, but I just did it to make my own sanity,
right?
In a routine. I know everything shut down in Pittsburgh, and you were one of those states that shut down early and opened up late.
Yep.
So Pennsylvania had it rough.
Yep. And then you called me when you was like, "Hey, you want some road work?" I said, "Absolutely." And then we started touring. We toured through the whole pandemic, and I was hearing shit from people on my pages. I'd be like, comedian grind. I'm headed to this city, going to Texas, comedian grind. I'm all fired up about it. And then people started hitting me. "You're working through the pandemic. You shouldn't." Yeah. And I remember I fired on somebody on Facebook.
Gotta pay bills,
motherfucker.
I gotta pay bills, bitch. Whoa, hey T. I always try to be like your moral compass. Hey man, bring it down a little bit. Calm down.
How dare you tour?
Okay. Let's. You're doing good now. Let's close with this. Let's close with me catching COVID and giving you COVID. And
There's still another bag on T.
It's not bag on. It's a funny story.
All right, go ahead.
So I catch COVID, and I'm telling everybody I'm in contact with, like, dude, I got it. Be careful. And everybody caught it. Everybody caught it.
Yep.
And you were still kind of, I said, dude, I think I'm fine now, but I'm still going to wear a mask and just be careful because, the incubation period, you might have it and not know it for a week or so.
Right.
Sure enough,
that's what happened.
That COVID incubated the shit out of you because you were fine for a week. We were in Columbus, Ohio, and I was already negative. I was fine. So I got the antibodies. You were sitting in the green room, and if anybody's ever been to Columbus Funny Bone, there's a little mini fridge and a little chair next to it. You were leaning on the mini fridge on the chair just going, "Ah, ah, ah," and I was like, dude, go home.
I made it to Saturday.
Yeah, but it's like,
I made it to Saturday.
First show Saturday, we had 3 shows on that, so go home, dude.
Yeah.
You got it? I don't know if you got it or not, but you got something.
You got to get out of here.
You got to leave now.
I need the money.
I said, I'll pay you the money.
I'll pay you the money. Get out of here.
I'll pay you what you're getting tonight. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll do a one-man show. You're good.
I had my whole family was coming to that show too, and I left.
Dude, that's the worst I'd seen somebody sick.
Yeah. And then I went back. I remember getting into bed, and I remember I fell asleep well before you was even back in the hotel. Fell asleep. I woke up probably about 3 a.m. When I woke up, I remember like the TV was on, the lamp was on, because I just passed out. I woke up, you could see my body print in the bed. I had sweated that much.
Yeah.
I took a cold shower, and I got back in. Then I had the chills, and I was just all messed up. I remember the next morning, I was like, "Gee, I'm out, man. I'm driving back." It was from Columbus to Pittsburgh. It was like a 3-hour drive, 2.5, 3 hours. It took me 4 hours. I had to keep stopping.
Yeah.
Because I had to keep stopping. I was drinking Gatorade. I was eating Tylenol like there were Skittles. Man, it was crazy.
Yeah, you was bad.
And then I was like, after 2 weeks, I remember there was a point where I was like, I might have to go to the hospital. But it was crazy. Like I woke up one day and it kind of went away, and I was like, the next day it got better. I called you. I was like, "Hey man, I'm good. Let's get back on this road." You're like, nah.
You wait a couple weeks, bro. I'm very much like, I said, the road ain't going nowhere, bro.
I know.
Take another week or 2 off, because that was the worst I'd seen it.
Yeah.
Like,
was bad.
Up close to see somebody get sick like that, I was like, whoa, this shit's real. Because I got it, but I never got super sick.
Yeah.
I had the bed sweats one night, that was it, but never lost a lot of taste.
I still never went on Facebook and said anything, though.
Yeah. That's it. Don't do that. You're just looking for sympathy points.
Yeah.
Because what bothered me about when I got it, and then I called everybody, and then Brad got it, and
Yeah.
I went back. I was already negative. Then my road manager Brad went on Facebook and said, I got COVID. Pray for me and stuff like that. I go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because then the clubs start going like, is Gary okay? Because everybody
Right.
associated me with Brad, and I said, why did you just post that?
Right.
Now the clubs are looking at me, and I'm already negative. And then he was like, oh, man, just looking for prayers. I said, no, you're not. You're looking for sympathy. You're looking for those likes. You're addicted to that stuff. I said,
Right.
Stop
it.
Don't post that. All right. So look, since you think I bagged you the whole episode, I'll say this. One thing I'll say about you is being on the road with you for a year and a half now. One thing I think I've had three opener. You make the fourth in my career that for long-term openers, like I was basically like calling them to come on the road with me. And I think you don't want to be somebody's opener your whole life, basically.
No.
I like the stories like D'Elia opened up for Joe Coy. Joe Coy opened up for Chelsea Handler. Like those type of stories where they became the opener and then became their own headliners and took off. And now everybody's doing well. I like those type of stories. One thing I say, like I've always told you, like the reason there's an expiration date for everything.
Right.
And, for whatever reason, the other openers, they expire for various reasons. But you have definitely, when I tell you things I need done and I can't have happen again, you like, all right. And you make sure my life is easy on the road. I don't have to tell you anything twice.
No.
And there's no back talk, I should say. Because it's weird when you work with somebody like we are, because it's like you're the CEO, but you're hanging out with the people in the cubicles, basically. And sometimes you become friends and the relationship gets blurred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't try to disrespect anybody. I don't tell people, go do this right now.
I never felt disrespected. I've never felt like you're making me do something. Because, ultimately, I'm a grown man. If I don't want to do it, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line there, right? So do you want to work or do you not want to work? And do you want to have the opportunity to make yourself become a better comedian or to be in front of these crowds who you wouldn't otherwise be in front of if it wasn't for you? Mm-hmm. Do I want to keep you always tell me this, piggyback off of me, get my crowd, man, do whatever you have to do to promote your social media so my people can start following you and you can grow your own brand.
Because there's enough for everybody.
Right. You always say that. And I don't want to fuck that up. I don't ever want to fuck that up.
It's a podcast, dude.
Yeah, dude, I never want to fuck that up. So it's one of those things where I heard your complaints about people before, and I'm like, I just knew what not to do.
Yeah. It becomes a blurred line.
And I've had a couple times where I've had some blips, but I try to make up for it where I just don't do it again.
Yeah. It's never about like, I don't expect everybody to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I know we all, and here's my thing. I know everybody has their days.
Yeah.
Everybody got their bad days. You don't know what's
Yeah.
going on at the house. You just wake up, you're in a weird mood sometimes. I get it. You can be short with people. And people, you feed off energy. And when you're on a road with somebody, you're with them as much as your family. When you're really grinding on those, you get 2 months straight of club work.
We've never really butted heads or had
not too
nothing
much
like that. No.
But you know what? Even my past openers, I didn't butt heads with them a ton.
Yeah.
It was just, got to a point where I'm like, the energy's off, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not completely blaming. It's not 100% the other person.
Right.
It's just, but when the energy's off and you're not excited to see them anymore and you're looking at them with a side eye, like, it's almost like, it's damn near like a divorce.
Yeah.
Like you're like, this is over.
Yeah.
This relationship is over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've never been one to go and post why it's not working out or, put somebody down because of it. That doesn't do anything.
You're pretty optimistic. You always have the brighter side of things. You're like, well, this person, like you said, could have a bad day or whatever. Like, whereas, somebody else might take it like, I don't like your tone with me. You should never have a tone like that with me. You know what I mean? Instead you look at it like, this guy could have something going on at home with his family, his wife, his kids, whatever. But that's a good way to look at it. That's a good thing.
But you be on it.
Job security. I need that.
Well, I tell you what, you be on it on the road. I ain't got to worry. I ain't got to tell you nothing twice. You got the merch out. The thing about it is you walk in the green room now, and I know what you like, and you know what I like.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I used to tell all my openers, man, the one would always get into my food.
Yeah.
I was like, why you open up my shit?
Right.
I go, what do you want? I'll get it for you.
Right.
What do you want in the green room? You're with me.
Right.
Same thing. Like, so I know you like your Tito's and your grapefruit.
Yeah.
So now it's on my rider, like
Right.
Tito's and grapefruit.
Right.
And sometimes you ain't with me, and I'll be like, what the fuck they got Tito's and
Tito's and
grapefruit in here?
grapefruit.
I don't need that. I ain't gonna drink that shit. Just wasting money.
They're like, he's so healthy. Why is he getting simply grapefruit?
Yeah. So I was like, the one guy, man, he always open my shit, and I was like, why is like, it's not petty.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch my shit.
I try not to touch it, and then like at the end of the weekend, like if it's something left over, I'll be like, hey,
ask.
can I have that? You'd be like, yeah.
That's all you gotta do. Ask me.
Yeah.
But I'm always one. I need to open shit up.
Yeah.
You don't open somebody's liquor bottle.
Yeah.
You don't open somebody's soda. You just don't. If it's a fruit tray, you don't take the plastic off and start munching.
Munching on it. Yeah.
Don't do that, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want? You like strawberries?
Right.
I'll get you a plate of strawberries.
Right.
What?
Right.
You want a kind bar?
Right.
Get some kind bars. Don't touch my shit. That's my thing. Don't touch my food.
Right. You got
my
that
snacks. Because sometimes I take them back to the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put them in a bag. Like if I know I'm coming home and I ain't gonna have nothing to eat. Well, now I'm in an apartment.
Right.
You know, I'm by myself.
Right.
Now it's like I don't want to come and I ain't got no water at the crib. I don't want to run to Kroger, run to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I'll just put like 3-4 extra bottled waters in. But if you drank them,
Yep. Then what?
what kind of water you like? I'll get it for you.
Yep.
Just tell me.
Yep.
I like the Mountain Spring.
Yep.
I like Essentia.
Right.
Do you like Fiji?
Yeah, I'll get you
What's
Fiji.
the Fiji in the green room? Just tell me. She should drive me
not that
fucking
hard.
crazy, bro. That's my pet peeve. Like, sorry, but I've talked to other headliners and stuff about it, and they're like, "You ain't being petty, at all."
Nah.
I would not go into Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle's green room, and start munching on their shit.
Right.
I just wouldn't do it.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
I'll go to the bar and get a drink. I
Exactly.
know you have a thing for.
Right.
You know, like I just got into a movie, and Kev stopped by the set one day, and he was doing something, and he had a big trailer. His trailer made mine look like shit. Anyways, but the fridge opened. I saw like a fridge full of Essentia waters, and I sat there for like 30 minutes, and then I'm fucking dying of thirst. I said, "Hey, Kev, can I grab a water?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Dude, get what you want." But I wouldn't go in there
You
and
wouldn't
just
just go
grab
do
one.
it. Right.
I asked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So anyways, doing a good job. Stand-up's getting tremendously. You're growing so much as a comedian beyond the road. Like, I've noticed your sets have just gotten better and better and better and better. So this isn't a bag on T Robe, but the stories are funny, man.
They are funny.
They're funny
We
stories.
got history, man. It's a good time, man.
Yeah. So anyways, you have a website or social media?
Yeah, I do. It's comediantrobe.com. And if you're on Instagram, it's or anything, Instagram or Facebook, it's t.robe comedy. That's it.
I always close. I ask all my guests this. They say, studio comes to you, T Robe, you're a movie man. Who do you want to be the co-star? Who do you want? Who do you want to work with? You can pick one person.
Pick one person to work with. Will Smith.
That's a popular one. A couple people said me. I appreciate that. Anyways, let's go back to bag on T Robe. I'm just kidding. I thought you were gonna say me, but fuck it. We'll go Will Smith.
Could you see us in a movie together?
No, nah.
You'd just be rubbing on me the whole time.
No, I would. Now, I think Will, Denzel are the two most named ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Out of people. But that's why I said hopefully the goal of the podcast is years from now, we'll run back all these episodes and people are like, damn, that happened. So, never know, man.
It's speaking into fruition. Yes. Manifestation.
Yeah, exactly.
Call it, right?
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on my set. You see, I'm bingled heavy. I didn't bust out the floaty today. I let that go.
That's the one that floats, that ball? That's pretty cool.
Floats. You can get one from Pittsburgh. I didn't want to,
Yeah. I'm just go ahead and do this before we sign off.
There you go. All right, now. There it is. All right, we'll see y'all next week. It's Gary on the GetSome podcast.